And we're live.
I feel like I need some walkout music. I should have walked out
You should have.
to like
Behind
some,
the curtain?
It's like some WWE music or something. I want like glass breaking.
We can add sound effects next week. We're just improving this all the time. Wow, I heard myself echo. That's cool.
It was God.
It was God?
Yeah.
He sounded a lot like me.
He's speaking into this moment.
All right, gang. Welcome back to Quarantine Wednesdays.
Is that an official name?
I don't know. I haven't trademarked it yet or anything, but
We do need some swag for this time. We need to work on that.
like,
Like some T-shirts or something.
I thought you were gonna say like
Yeah.
hazmat suit with our logo on it.
No. Yeah, you guilt tripped me out of that last week.
We could get swag though.
Yeah. I survived
Well,
Quarantine Wednesdays.
Sometimes I wonder.
We haven't yet.
So hopefully we have some parents joining us tonight. I put that call out. Hopefully you're joining us to see what this is all about. We're going to have hopefully a little bit of fun. Tonight's a little different. Obviously, we've changed the setup. I don't think Jimmy Fallon's going to come out here, but it's going to be the best time ever, which is his thing. So, how shall we start this? I guess we can just start with our game. How about that?
Jump right in?
Let's jump right in.
All right, cool.
We'll get.
So, game is like totally unrelated to what we're talking about tonight. Just something fun. And I thought about this game as I was putting this together. First of all, I didn't look at the answers because I like to play along. I don't think
I looked at the answers.
You looked of like the family, and they're like, "Look, Daddy, what I drew for you," and I'm like, "Oh, that's great.
What in
What
the
is
world?
It? What is it?" So we're gonna play a little something tonight called 3-Year-Old Pictionary. So basically, these are pictures drawn by a 3-year-old, and we're gonna throw a picture up on the screen. Now, it would be a little bit too much to do like fill in the blank. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh,
fill in the blank would be,
no one would
we'd
win.
be here all night. So it's going to be multiple choice, A, B, or C. So we're going to throw a picture up, and you guys guess. Comment on YouTube or Facebook what you think is the best answer for the picture.
And let's do a little challenge. Let's have the parents against the kids and see who wins.
Well, I mean, parents should be practiced at this.
Yeah, because their kids can't draw.
Right. We love you guys, but your art's terrible.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are quite good.
Everyone's art was terrible as a 3-year-old. All right, Aaron, throw the first one up. First one.
What do we got?
So we have A, a vampire, B, an angry cow. If I saw a cow standing up on its hind legs
with whatever that is in its left paw, is that a paw or is that a tail? I guess that's a tail.
And then C, what is that? Kalthos Sunstrider, Master of the Burning Legion. Is that Game of Thrones?
I wouldn't know. I'm a Christian. I haven't seen it.
I would not know either. All right. So what's your best guess? Vampire, angry cow, or pretty much we think Game of Thrones, dude?
Right.
What are you going with? You know already.
I know already.
You know.
But I will say C.
I think I'm gonna go B.
You're a B. How about you, Aaron?
I'm thinking angry cow.
We have
cow?
Yeah, B.
We have a lot of A's coming in. A lot of A's. One B. A lot of A's. Show us what we got, Aaron.
Hey,
A it is. The A's have
obviously it's a vampire.
Yeah, obviously, I love that.
Now,
I love that little obviously on there.
I'm trying to figure out what the black cloud coming out of its neck is.
Well,
and
I've never seen a vampire with horns. So, like, are his teeth coming out of his head? Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. They're antennae. They can sense blood, I guess.
Aaron, what's the next one? What do we got? Oh,
this is one of my faves.
All right. So, a crow looking for trash to eat. A T-Rex with abnormal stick-like growths on his snout. It's just the head. A yawning deer. It looks upside down, right?
It does look like upside down, unless it's the T-Rex with the abnormal stick-like growths. Because then it's just the head. There's the mouth.
There's 3 legs there.
Oh, I see. So then the T-Rex is actually right side up.
Right. Correct.
Oh, yeah.
The eyes are down behind its mouth.
Oh, yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm going to...
I'm intentionally not looking at the answers.
No, we're terrible at this. So we have a couple of B's coming in. T-Rex with abnormal stick-like growths. I'm going to go with A. A crow looking for trash to eat. I don't know why. Nothing else seems to fit. Show us what we got, Aaron.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to figure out, is the crow upside down?
It was completely a guess. But yeah, I mean, it would have to be, right? It's a crow.
And does the crow have 3 legs?
It's a crow with 3 legs. It's a crow with 3 legs.
I want to meet the kid.
So me and Abby are the only ones that got that one.
I'm trying to figure out where the trash is. I guess it's looking for trash.
All right, well, what's the next one?
This is one of my favorites.
All right, so a zombie rabbit. You know, I think the possible answers are as good as the pictures themselves. A zombie rabbit, a happy bat, and this is you, Daddy.
Now, when my kids were little, this was me.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not me because my ears would go horizontally and my hair would go up, but it was very much looking like me.
So my kids are still in the 5 body part drawing phase. And because I was going to go C, but because of that, I'm going to go B, a happy bat. Jenna's with me. Got a couple of B's, 1 C.
I don't have anybody on
what
Facebook
is
answering at the moment.
A happy bat.
Happy bat.
Note the smile.
Oh, he's smiling big time. Yeah.
Note the smile.
My kids smile at me every morning like that.
All right.
I think this is number 4, right?
Yeah, this is 4.
We have 5 of them.
4 and 5. All right.
This is good.
All right. A 3-horned goat. So, all right. So I see. You know what it looks like? It looks like Stitch.
It does look a little Stitch-like.
Yeah. Just because I assume that Yellow King. What is Grondark Lizard King of the North? I don't even understand what that is. See a dancing gecko. Oh, I'm gonna go dancing gecko.
No, that sounds like something you'd make up because they drew one leg shorter.
Well, the last one was a happy bat. So
yeah,
this one's just as happy as the bat, but there is no happy.
Hey, the crowd agrees with me here. We're going C's.
I think it's A.
All dancing.
Woo!
He's
We're
in
killing
mid jig. Look at him,
dude. I'm 3 out of 4. I am 3 out of 4.
So clearly, when they are really specific, like Grondark, it's not that answer.
It's not that. Well, I mean, I think we might have a Game of Thrones fan who's created this.
Maybe.
Anyway, I'm going to Google if that's another character.
We're going to have to Google that later.
A friendly centipede. You know what? I'm not even going to read the rest.
You think it's a friendly centipede?
Yep, that's what it is. I'm going A. B, a superhero cat fighting bad guys. Nope. The coronavirus strain.
It's smiling at you too.
That does kind of look like a 3-year-old's depiction of the strain. Doesn't it?
Could. Except the strain is always red.
It's always red.
So
yeah.
I think that eliminates that.
All right, I'm going A. Let's see if I can get 90%.
What are we getting online?
Let's see. I've got an A, a B, and a C.
Well, that's good because that's the 3 answers we have.
Right.
Another A. All right. What do we got?
It's
Aaron?
B.
Oh, it's B. A superhero cat fighting bad guys.
Arms or fur? You can't tell if those are arms or fur.
Hashtag art. I'm like, how many limbs does that cat have?
It's a superhero. He's got superhero arms. They're all over.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So I got 3 out of 5. What
3
is
out
that?
of 5.
What is that? Like 75%? 70%?
I missed every one, I think.
Like
You
math
missed
is
every one?
Math is everywhere.
That's bad, Aaron, because you're literally looking at the
I
slides.
didn't like.
He was not looking at the answers.
I did.
He was
purposely
trying
didn't.
not to.
Yeah.
All right,
Not to.
that was fun. There's actually 5 more. We might have to do. We'll
We'll
that
break.
again
We'll
next
break
week.
the other
We'll bring it
5
back.
out in a week.
So
upcoming.
Jenna has been owning the games.
I'm
the last
telling you,
couple
after
weeks.
that first week, she has come alive.
Owning it, but
She's been in hard training.
I don't know.
because
I'd have to look back. I wasn't completely tracking with it, like who was given what, because everyone was pretty much all over the map.
Were there any parents that played? Because I'm not getting any answers here.
No, I did not get any parent answers.
Okay,
on
so the parents
YouTube.
win. Ha!
Yeah.
They didn't miss a one. can't miss if you don't play. All right. So since we're trying to have the parents and the students interact a little bit more tonight, hopefully you're sitting together and not in different parts of the house. I have a feeling in my house they're not sitting together, but hopefully, Jill, wrangle them up right now. I would like for parents and students together to, if you can think of celebrities that have been married multiple times, they're out there. I know you're going to have to search really hard for them.
Oh, yeah.
But if you could search for pictures of celebrities, send us pictures of those celebrities. I want to see what you come up with and who has been married the most times. I wonder what we'll come up with. Because with the parents playing, I kind of know where they're going to go.
Well, it'll be interesting, like the difference in answers between parents and students.
Yeah.
Because we'll get, do we have any boomer parents or just like high side? You're not a boomer.
I'm a boomer.
You're like high side of Gen X.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the ceiling of Gen X.
Oh man, I'm trying to think. I think I immediately go to J-Lo.
Oh?
She's been married 3 times.
3 times maybe?
She was married to Ben Affleck for like 5 seconds. She was married to Puff Daddy.
Woody Allen, I think, has been married a lot of times.
Woody Allen has been married.
But
then he married the 12-year-old girl that lived in his
know,
house. And
that all counts.
She was his adopted daughter,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's so weird. But Aaron, you're such an old soul. Like, who says Woody Allen, dude?
I've watched a lot of Woody Allen.
I
would have gone Liz Taylor for sure.
I bet all of our students have no idea who Woody Allen is. I'm just
He's on Toy Story, right?
No.
Good Lord.
Annie Hall.
Help me,
Manhattan.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have any student answers. They're having their own little chat here about most marriages. What we got on Facebook?
I'm going to cough to death. I'm not seeing anything yet.
Nope. Everyone's afraid to jump out here on this one.
So I would have said Liz Taylor for sure because she's notorious for it.
Yeah.
She's been married 8 times. Oh, sorry, she's no longer with us. She was married 8 times, but if you really want to get down to it, she was only married 7 because she married Richard Burton twice.
Kat says Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Zsa Zsa Gabor 9 times.
9 times?
Wow.
9 times.
Wow.
Here's a question for you. If you've been married 9 times, after 5, do you even get dressed up?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can wear white anymore, right? I mean, white's kind of off the
like
table at that point.
9, it's like gray.
Jenna says Kim Kardashian. But
She's been married multiple times?
I thought she's only married once, right? I mean,
Legit.
we're
We're
not going down that road. Jenna says Britney Spears too. I think Britney's only been married once?
I don't know. She kind of after she shaved her head, she fell off the planet.
Yeah, man. In the celebrity world, Nick Cage.
Oh,
It's up there. Nick
Yeah.
Cage is up there. Yeah.
He's been married as many times as he's had multiple movies in a year. Snake eyes.
Oh, Jenna says Angelina Jolie 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of those was Billy Bob, and he's been married 5.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. It's when they were wearing each other's blood in vials around their neck. We just went to a dark place, didn't we?
We're not going to go there. Not tonight. Not tonight, man. All right, so that was kind of fun for us. Now I have a question. If the teens would ask their parents, okay, if you have your parent right there with you, ask if they had to pick a celebrity for them to marry. So if you are a teen, you are asking your parent, if you had to pick a celebrity for me to marry, who would it be? who would it be?
So
We're not talking about Brad to marry.
No,
We're
no,
talking
no,
about
no. The teens
individual to
for
marry.
the
Yeah.
teens. All right. So you got 3 choices. Let's start with Hayden. Let's start with Hayden. Who would you pick for Hayden to marry?
Who would I pick for Hayden?
Celebrity.
Let's see. Oh, does Ursula from Little Mermaid count? I don't know.
Jeez.
Maybe.
Man, that's mean. That's just
Hayden
mean.
needs a strong woman. Hayden needs a strong woman. I'm having trouble here. I thought about this afternoon, and I tried to think of people younger than 40, and I
Yeah.
was struggling because all of the people I could think of are older than 40.
JoJo Siwa.
I'm sorry. I got a shot.
That's
for
my
that.
pick for you, Hayden. JoJo Siwa. Hayden says Michelle Obama. Not younger than 40.
And already married. Yeah, if they're not married yet, we can still set this up. We can still set this up, man.
All right. Anna.
I couldn't think of anybody for any of my kids.
Nick Jonas.
Oh, no, because she can't stand the Jonas Brothers.
Oh,
Is it
good for
John
her.
Krasinski or whatever? He
John
seems,
Krasinski? Yeah.
He's
he seems
older.
Like, he seems like he'd be in the.
He's older, though.
What's the age we're going for? Under 40?
Under 40. He's under 40.
I go under 30. I mean,
Okay. Well, she's my kid. I can set her up
Anna
with
says,
whoever I want.
"Yuck, marriage."
Yeah.
It's like, no thanks.
Anna's not into the marriage thing right now. She's a driven girl. She knows what she wants.
All right. Well, can you go for the youngest?
Abby?
Yeah.
Abby, I almost said Nick Jonas for her, but she would kill me. Let's see. Yeah, I'm terrible at this game.
Yeah, you're pretty bad.
What does Jill say?
Justin Bieber.
Oh, please no.
Hey, what? He loves Jesus.
He loves, yeah.
Don't you want your kids to marry somebody that loves Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit of a train wreck, but he loves Jesus.
We love our Canadian brethren.
See, Aaron and I can't even play this game. Like,
No, I already know. Jacob Collier. The end.
who?
The end.
How old is he?
He's 25.
Yeah.
Jacob Collier. I would marry Jacob Collier. I think. Jeez.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh man.
If you don't know Jacob Collier, go check it out.
I don't think the students like this game very
No,
much.
it's a good thing it's not a game. Just, these are the thoughts of your youth pastor.
So Anna just fake gagged at the Jonas Brothers.
That's what I'm telling you. I know my girl. I don't think she fake gagged. I think she literally threw up in her lap. All right, so we're gonna move on. The kids are like, yes. So we're back in our series for fallen leaders. Fallen leaders.
Frolicking leaders.
What is in here? Water. And we've been working through the Old Testament as of late. We had Abraham, we had Moses, we had David. And this week we are, the overall theme that we've kind of worked with is God uses imperfect people. And so last week we had David. This week we're going to use his son. Well, use him. We're going to talk about his son, Solomon. What are two things that Solomon is known for?
Wives and concubines.
Okay. What else? He's kind of known for something else.
Wisdom. There you go.
Well, and the wives and concubines. But so tonight we're gonna, just so you can look ahead of time, we're gonna be in 1 Kings chapter 11. But Solomon is known for wisdom and his wives, and this is something. He had 700 wives. But he was considered the wisest man ever. He had 700 wives.
See, I've always thought he's proof that wisdom fades, or wisdom has an expiration date. Wisdom needs to be refreshed.
Are we grading on a curve?
Yeah. And the other thing I've always thought is that sounds expensive.
Well,
it?
it's a good thing because
I think he's known for money.
he had a little cash.
But I mean, dang, that sounds very expensive.
I mean, if anybody's seen Sister Wives, have you seen Sister Wives on TLC? It's a guy married to 4 women, and they're all that
Heard of it?
That gives me a headache. That was 4. He had 700 and 300 concubines. The dude was insane.
Yeah.
I don't know if wisdom is something that I would talk about, but so why on the earth would you have why would you have 700 wives and 300 concubines?
Political gain, I
Yeah.
think was a lot of it.
I mean, there's I'd say there's 2 kinds of things. There lust in 2 forms. Sexual lust and the lust for power.
Yeah.
Because definitely back then, the size of your harem was a status thing, and that was just your harem. I don't. Dude, you had to, didn't you? Oh, thank goodness. So we're gonna dive into 1 Kings chapter 11. If you would like to follow along for your viewing pleasure. So we're going to start in verse 1. King Solomon, however, loved many foreign women besides Pharaoh's daughters, the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites. They were from nations about which the Lord had told the Israelites, "You must not intermarry with them, because they will surely turn your hearts after their gods." Nevertheless, Solomon held fast to them in love. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines, and his wives led him astray. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father had been. Have you ever had a friend, and maybe it's yourself, have you ever had a friend or yourself have a girlfriend or boyfriend that you didn't approve of, or that your friends didn't approve of yours?
Yes.
Did you listen?
Well, it was more more Mama didn't approve.
Well, yeah, Mama didn't approve of quite a few of
Mama
mine.
didn't approve. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't always listen.
Yeah.
Love is blind. Yeah. Love is stupid.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
I had a friend in high school that he started dating a girl. Her name was Stephanie. And I didn't like her. My nickname for her was Psycho Hose Beast from Hell. And he didn't listen to me. And boy, that blew up. It got ugly at the end. And, well, that's kind of the end of that story. But we were often ruled, our minds are ruled by something else. And we think we know best. And when we have people in our lives that can see from a different perspective, and now if any of us had somebody speak into our lives and say, "Hey, I don't think that's a good idea," I think we would at least be able to see it from a wiser position. The interesting thing about wisdom is that the older you get, the more you seem to obtain. I think maybe Solomon went the opposite way, because the older he got, the stupider he got. But it's important to listen to the people around you, especially if they're looking out for your best interests. But we're gonna jump down to verse 9.
I was just thinking, it takes a little bit of wisdom to heed wisdom.
Preach, boy.
You know?
Anybody?
There's been plenty of people that have spoken wisdom into my life through the years,
Yeah.
but I wasn't wise enough to listen to it and take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd like parents and students to have a conversation tonight about that, about times when friends saw better for you than what you were doing, and how that turned out. How did they tell you, or how did you try to tell your friend that this isn't a good place, this isn't a way you should be going, and how did that end up? Did your friendship stay? Did they listen to you? There are a lot of different times when I was growing up that friends would tell other friends, "Hey, she's a bad apple.
a bad mama jamma.
She's got bad mama jamma." And friendships were ended.
Mhm.
And so it would be interesting to have the students and adults talk about how that happened, how you work through that, and how that might look differently now as you're older and you can speak truth into that. But as I said, we're going to jump down to verse 9 because things moved on for Solomon. Says the Lord became angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice. Although he had forbidden Solomon to follow other gods, Solomon did not keep the Lord's command. So the Lord said to Solomon, "Since this is your attitude, and you have not kept my covenant and my decrees, which I commanded you, I will most certainly tear the kingdom away from you and give it to one of your subordinates. Nevertheless, for the sake of David your father, I will not do this during your lifetime. I will tear it out of the hand of your son. Yet I will not tear the whole kingdom from him, but will give him one tribe for the sake of David my servant and for the sake of Jerusalem, which I have chosen." I'd like to know what you students think about God's punishment. There are consequences to. We've talked multiple times about having consequences to bad choices. What do you think about God's consequence here for Solomon? I mean, he had 10 tribes. He was king over all of Israel, and God's saying, "I'm gonna rip this apart." So, students, what do you think? Is that a good punishment? Do you think it's fair? I know how much fairness plays into how you think about how your parents punish you. Is it what's the word I'm looking for? Equitable to the crime. I thought about this afternoon, and I'm like, well, I'm not sure how I would have responded if I was in God's place. Not that I ever want that, but Mike, what do you think about how that was disseminated?
I was thinking about what we talked about a few weeks ago with Abraham and the whole the importance of legacy in these Old Testament figures. And you see, God didn't take the kingdom away from Solomon, but he basically said that his sons would not inherit the kingdom as a whole. So how much was he even able to continue enjoying the kingdom beyond that point?
Because he knew it would be gone.
Knowing, I'm going to live into it. I'm still going to have my 700 wives and 300 concubines and all my money and all this. But as soon as I'm gone, this is all just going to get busted up.
Yeah.
And you wonder if he spent. I don't think the Bible really talks about that much. Did he spend his remaining years kind of in anguish, knowing that was coming?
It seemed to end rather abruptly after that. So, and the other question for you teens especially, have you ever had to deal with a consequence because of someone else? Because of your siblings, they've done something, and your parents have punished the lot of you, and you're having to deal with it. I would say that Rehoboam, which was Solomon's son that this was taken from, he's like, what the heck? What's the deal?
Yeah, what I do?
I didn't do anything. Dad got to live through the whole thing, and he had the whole kit and caboodle, and now I'm getting it ripped from me. So it's just I've always struggled with that broadcast punishment, and why is it that the one that actually committed the offense is not, I mean, the knowledge that Solomon wasn't going to have that continuation of the kingdom is somewhat of a punishment, but not necessarily in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm an only child, so I always drew the short straw, man. I mean,
It was them.
Yeah, I mean, I got the full brunt of all the punishment as an only child. But yeah, I mean, you know, the Bible talks about, and I think people misinterpret this sometimes. But it talks about visiting the sins to the third and fourth generation and beyond, and I think that's what it's talking about. Is like there's a ripple effect to sin. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, there are consequences that we live out today based on our parents' actions that we had zero control over.
Thank you, food pyramid.
Thank you, food pyramid.
Seriously, eat a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Bread.
I love the
Continue.
I love that Aaron goes to the food pyramid. Wow.
Well, he just went on a meat diet for a month.
Carnivore for a month. Yeah.
Well, so, you know, part of me wonders, and I always wonder this about these stories, is God actively engaging in harm, or is God just kind of taking his protection away and letting the consequences, letting the chips fall as they may? Because basically the lineage of David was protected. And then you see after Solomon, and it's almost like God's like, you know what? I'm going to stand back and let this play out a little bit. And you see it just it blows up.
Well, right. I mean, verse 14, it says that the Lord raised up against Solomon an adversary, one of the Edomites. So the Lord had the Edomite come up. It wasn't he was just hands off. It was orchestrated. And the other thing is, you know, we talked about multiple times about God's faithfulness. God was faithful, even though David made a lot of different bad choices, and clearly Solomon was not a lot better. God was still faithful to the things that he talked about. He promised that to David that the kingdom of Israel would be in his line forever. And this was another way of God kind of staying faithful to that. Although there were consequences, he didn't take the entire kingdom away. He left, I think it was the tribe of Benjamin with Rehoboam, but he also had Judah too. So eight tribes went with the Edomites, and 2 stayed with the line of David. So God is still faithful. God is still faithful to what he says, but there are still consequences to your actions. And in this case, God showed not only undeserved mercy. I mean, he could have taken everything away from Solomon like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He showed mercy in that, and he showed mercy in that he didn't take the entire kingdom away, but stayed true to his word to Solomon's father David, that line would still be a part of ruling. So mercy, undeserved mercy, deserved just judgment. We have to deal with both in all of our decisions. So, but you know, we talk about God using imperfect people, and Solomon was no different. God used him with his wisdom. He's known for his wisdom, and we have story after story about how he ruled. I mean, the famous one is the two women that had the baby, and he's like, okay, we'll figure out who the mother is. If not, we'll just cut them in half, and you can each have half. And the real mother said, let her take him, and that was the clear choice. That was the mother. Wisdom in very I don't know how you would describe how that is wisdom. They're like, I'm going to dangle this. Let me cut this kid in half. Maybe some of your parents have had some really odd ways of getting the truth out of you when maybe not cutting.
Maybe they almost cut you in half.
Maybe they should have. So any further thoughts about Solomon for this week? Oh yeah. Any further comments you have about Solomon?
We still hold Solomon in high regard as a biblical figure. We still look back on him as an example. Jesus highlights Solomon in the Gospels. You read the story of Solomon. There's more bad than good, and Jesus highlights him as. So that's always interesting to me.
And so we talk about the bad, but again, it's not just Solomon's wisdom. Solomon was chosen to build God's temple, and build it he did. If you read what this temple was like, it was amazing. I'd love to see a replica. I mean, I know how Aaron feels about the ark, but I would love to see a replica of the temple, which
I'm
would
sure
be
they'll get to that eventually.
which would be awesome. But yeah, God used him for his wisdom, used him to build the temple, and we learn from our mistakes, and hopefully we do moving forward with Solomon in the background. So our Sunday groups are going to continue. It sounds like Sunday groups are going really great. We're meeting on Zoom, and if you are not a part of a group, again, please text me, and I'll get you in touch with. I'll place you in a group, and you can start talking on Sunday afternoons. Lately, it's been just great to get to see your faces and have the conversations that we've missed for 3 weeks plus. And but there are times of challenge. There's times where we'll talk more about our lessons on Wednesday nights, but it's still great just to see faces and be able to have the continued conversation and building the relationship that right now we're just dying for. Yeah. The three of us were part of a group last night. Our men's small group usually meets on Tuesday nights, and we met on Zoom, and it was oddly heartwarming.
Yeah, it was great.
It was cool just to see everybody's face and have a conversation, and if nothing else, that's great for Sunday afternoons for you guys to be able to talk with one another. Next week, we may be doing something outside the box. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Stay tuned for that. We'll see what happens, especially with the weather. But 2 questions to end with. First question is for the parents. What is something that your kid / kids see in you as an imperfection, but you see as a strength or something that God can use? So as we leave, have a conversation about something that your kids think you are an absolute idiot about, or a quirk that you have in your personality, but you see it as a way that God can use it for a positive, or you just see it as a strength. That's for the parents. And for everyone, what's something in your life right now that could be pulling you away from God? Solomon, it was a lot of women. But what is something that you have in your life right now? And it could be a lot of different things. Now that we have this isolation, the internet could be part of the problem. But have a conversation with one another about what could be pulling you away from God right now, and what might you need to think about. What could another person in your family say, hey, I don't think this is the best thing for you, and how are you going to navigate that relationship with one another?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we hope that you stay happy and healthy, and you have some really good conversations tonight. If so, please send us a comment, email me. But let's keep the conversation going with everybody, and we hope to see you soon.
Good night.
Peace.